This is the Alps. Between two towering, steep rock faces separated by 100 meters of sheer drop, a single 10-centimeter slackline stretches across. On it, professional cycling stunt performer Kenny Belay is carefully riding. The unpredictable wind causes slackline to sway constantly, forcing him to adjust his balance repeatedly. Meanwhile, the thin air at this altitude robs him of normal breathing, turning every second into a nightmare and every inch forward into a sheer torment. After 150 agonizing seconds, Belay finally completes the death-defying 18-meter crossing. In training, he had failed over 80 times, but this time he succeeded. Perhaps you noticed the prominent logo on his helmet right from the start. Yes, this heart-stopping challenge was sponsored by Red Bull. This isn't Red Bull's first venture into extreme sports sponsorship, nor is it the most daring. Open any of Red Bull's promotional videos and you'll see. Selling drinks is just their side hustle. From cliff diving to wingsuit flying to freestyle motocross and aerobatic flying. Athletes in this extreme sport proudly display the Red Bull logo on their gear. But why is the beverage company so passionate about sponsoring extreme sports? Red Bull, the energy drink, was derived from a Thai energy drink called Krating Dang by Austrian entrepreneur Dietrich while visiting Thailand. At that time, Thailand hosted 3 consecutive Asian Games from 1966 to 1978 due to political instability. Construction workers and long-haul drivers working overtime needed something to combat fatigue. Conveniently, Red Bull, fortified with caffeine, taurine, and B vitamins, met this demand perfectly. Within a year of its launch, it climbed to the 2nd place in sales and overtook Japan's energy drink the following year to become the market leader. By 1980s, having conquered Southeast Asia, Red Bull set its sights on the international market, dividing territories with licensing agreements in Austria and China. Breaking into the European market wasn't easy. From 1984 to 1987, Dietrich spent 3 years refining Austrian Red Bull's brand positioning, product packaging, and marketing strategy. In Thailand, Red Bull succeeded as a functional beverage that met the needs of grassroots consumers. But this approach wouldn't work in Austria, where coffee had been the go-to energizer for over 300 years. So Dietrich shifted gears. He targeted young people open to new trends, gave Red Bull a sleek blue and silver makeover, and rebranded it as a trendy drink. On April Fool's Day 1987, Red Bull officially launched in Austria, accompanied by large-scale marketing campaigns. Red Bull's strategy involved both online and offline promotions. Offline, they targeted campuses, bars, and other hangouts for young people with ground promotion led by Red Bull girls, distributing free samples of Red Bull. This bold tactic quickly boosted brand awareness. At parties, Red Bull cocktails mixing the drink with vodka or whiskey became popular. Online, Red Bull ran TV ads with the slogan, "Red Bull gives you wings." Beyond standard advertising, Red Bull also enters sports sponsorship, a tried and true method used by major brands like Coca-Cola, which secured exclusive Olympic sponsorship rights as early as 1968. However, traditional sports sponsorships were crowded and expensive. By the 1980s, the emerging field of extreme sport presented a unique opportunity. Activities like bungee jumping, skydiving, and ice climbing captivated young audiences with their high-risk appeal, aligning perfectly with Red Bull's youthful, adventurous brand image. These sports were relatively new, offering abundant sponsorship opportunities at a low cost. Recognizing this, the Austrian went all in on extreme sports sponsorship. In 1989, Red Bull began its foray with F1 driver Berger as sponsorship efforts expanded. Red Bull eventually acquired its own F1 teams, dominating the scene by the 2010s. By 2019, Red Bull has signed over 800 elite extreme sports athletes and established a media empire that produced documentaries, films, and global live streams. From the first cans sold in Austria in 1987 to over 100 billion cans sold across 172 countries today, Red Bull's success story goes far beyond simply slapping its logo on events. Its unique interaction of media and marketing has turned the brand into a cultural icon. The head of Red Bull Media House once said, "Everything we do consider its return on investment," and in their case, ROI primarily translates to exposure. Extreme sports captivate audience by defying conventional boundaries, offering unparalleled visual thrills. However, as audiences grow accustomed to these spectacles, their threshold for excitement rises, making only the most boundary-pushing feats attention-worthy. Among Red Bull's in-house projects, the most iconic is undoubtedly the 2012 Stratos space jump. On October 14, 2012, a helium balloon carrying skydiver Felix to the stratosphere, 39,000 meters above Earth. Upon reaching this altitude, where the air is nearly non-existent and only sparse clouds accompany the view, Felix opened a hatch, paused briefly, and leaped. As he plummeted towards Earth, Felix experienced turbulent flips and rotations, reaching a maximum speed of 1300 km per hour, which is roughly 1.2 times the speed of sound. After a breathtaking 4 minutes and 22 seconds of freefall, he deployed his parachute, safely returning to Earth. This historic jump was live-streamed to a global audience of over 8 million viewers on YouTube alone, a staggering number which was 16 times the peak viewership of the London Olympics on YouTube. Broadcasted across 50 plus countries and 80 plus TV networks with 280 digital platforms sharing content, the event amassed a total of 52 million viewers and generated 3.1 million tweets. What's the impact? In the US alone, Red Bull sales surged by 7%, adding $1.6 billion in revenue over 6 months. Globally, sales grew by 13% that year, reaching $5.2 billion. The $30 million spent on Stratos project yielded an estimated $60 billion total in returns, a monumental payoff for Red Bull's audacious gamble. Red Bull's mastery lies in transforming extreme sports into historic spectacles. The 2012 Stratos jump and the 2021 Tunnel Fly project exemplify how the brand creates moments that bind consumers emotionally to the project. These ventures do more than sell energy drinks. They embody the spirit of breaking limits. By associating with extreme sports, Red Bull transfers the push your limits ethos to its drinks, subtly promising consumers that they too can achieve greatness. The iconic slogan, "Red Bull gives you wings," finds its perfect narrative in these daring challenges. For founder Dietrich, everything we do is about enhancing the brand's value and image, promoting Red Bull as a symbol of healthy, energetic lifestyle. Red Bull's relationship with extreme sport is symbiotic. While the sport provides Red Bull with unparalleled exposure, the brand reciprocates by funding and popularizing the disciplines, even advancing scientific research in the process. For example, the Stratos project yielded valuable physiological data for aviation and space exploration, while Red Bull's involvement in GPS correction during wingsuit flights helped refine navigation technologies. Despite its success, Red Bull's extreme marketing strategy isn't without criticism. High-risk events, often incentivized by substantial rewards, have pushed athletes into perilous situations. For example, the Red Bull Rampage downhill race was cancelled after just 5 editions due to its dangerously high fatality risk. And the wingsuit flying discipline, which was largely monopolized by Red Bull's sponsorship, has claimed lives. Skeptics often question the morality of profiting from life-threatening events. Yet, for many extreme sports enthusiasts, the allure of conquering the unknown outweighs the risk. As Alex Honnold, who completed a death-defying free solo climb of El Capitan, once said, "I've never smiled so much." Extreme sports are both a science and personal voyage. Athletes risk everything to explore humanity's boundaries, driven by a desire to witness the unknown. Red Bull's sponsorship resonates with the spirit, celebrating those bold enough to challenge the limits. While Red Bull's motivations are undoubtedly commercial, their support for extreme sports highlights a broader human narrative, the innate desire to reward courage and exploration. In celebrating these trailblazers, Red Bull reminds us that those who gaze at the stars deserve to be admired.